I think it's when it's something you want to share, or something that when you tell people they want to share. So, I mean, everyone has their story that about, that you might tell at parties that people always love, but also think about, is your story something that even if it didn't happen to you would be a great story, and think about the stories that people have told you recently that have really resonated with you, and you remember they've stuck and they meant something, and then think about why and what was it about the story.
Does this story have conflict and resolution? That's really what it comes down to. Like, is there something worthy of conversation and worthy of thinking about? So it always comes down to something that has two sides, or some kind of juxtaposition or conflict, or varying ways to look at something. Like, I don't think it's interesting to tell a story about, for example, the new sneaker place that moved into the mall, because who really cares? But it's really interesting if it kicked out an old sneaker place, and there's a story in that. So it's all about, what's the surrounds and the purpose for making this particular story more momentous than everyday, recollections.
And a big one for me and Cathy too, I think, is what are our friends, what are people around us talking about, and whether your story is a direct reflection of that, like the movie we made together, Otherhood, that was about empty nesting women, and what's your second act, what's the rest of your life. Even if it's not directly related, whatever the issue is of like feeling lost or rebirth or starting again is an interesting topic to us, and one that we feel like people around us are talking about and thinking about.
There's a story around every corner. I'm always fascinated, by the fact that there's always something interesting to observe. And oftentimes what I say to young people who are starting their careers, in storytelling and in writing and things, is you don't need to obsess over that one story that you came up with, and 10 years later, you're still trying to get it done. And because maybe it didn't connect, or maybe it didn't work, it doesn't matter. There's always another story. There's a story everywhere you look.